What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
A blinding flash, followed by a deafening explosion. Leon's castle was obliterated in a tumult of flames. A colossal fireball roared ferociously, engulfing everything in its path before fading into nothingness.
Volume 18 Epilogue. The End of the Dream, Part 1.
Yuuki chuckled bitterly.
Oh, dear. I really gave it my all, but is this where it ends?
It had been just over a decade since he arrived in this world. From his first meeting with Kigali, the demon lord Kazalim, he had been working tirelessly to fulfill his dreams. Along the way, he had forged bonds with people he could confide in, sharing numerous struggles together. However, rapid advancements had their own pitfalls. Rimaru's unbroken streak of successes was unusual. It was inevitable that the plan would fall apart when he failed to foresee the changes in Clayman. Yuuki was burdened with guilt over this. With many thoughts swirling in his mind, he decided to address everyone using the accelerated telepathy net.
Sorry, everyone. I messed up pretty badly, and I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess.
Yuki's apology was met with understanding. No one blamed him.
It's not just your fault, boss. Actually, I think my failure played a bigger role.
Kigali admitted, feeling a heavy sense of guilt. If she hadn't been so fixated on Leon from the start, the current situation might have been avoided. However, if she hadn't been obsessed with Leon, she wouldn't have met Yuuki, so it wasn't all bad. Tear, trying to console Kigali, chimed in.
Don't be sad, princess. I've remembered some things, too. I don't recall my name or anything specific, just a mix of memories and feelings. But I was your maidservant, and honestly, it was the king's fault. All the maids supported you. So don't regret anything, okay, princess? I'm just happy to be with you till the end.
Tear had no regrets, even if this was the end. Kigali had saved her from a doomed existence and given her a new purpose. Dying alongside her would bring Tear peace.
Tear, you. It's been fun. Both footmen and claymen adored the princess. We were grateful to the boss. I admired her as the demon lord Kazalim because she was strong and imposing, but in the end, the princess was the most beautiful.
That's true. At first, I laughed because it seemed unfitting, but now it feels right. If that's her true form, then it's natural.
Laplace agreed, laughing.
So, boss, don't worry about it. We did our best. I have no regrets. Clayman will be waiting for us in the afterlife, so let's enjoy our time there.
Laplace had done all he could, good and bad. As someone who balanced between extremes, he lived without shame. That's why he was proud of himself and his friends.
It's our last chance, so you can vent a bit more, right?
I have no complaints.
Yeah.
Well, we all trusted the boss. If we can't succeed with the boss, then it's not meant to be.
Still, Yuuki persisted.
Laplace, are you sure you want to come with us? I heard someone calling your name. If you're alone, shouldn't you be able to escape?
Sylvia turned to Laplace and called out, Sarian. Laplace responded.
I see. So my real name was Sarian.
A forgotten memory resurfaced. He glanced at Sylvia, feeling a sense of relief that his beloved wife was safe. But that was all. He was already dead. It had been over 2,000 years since he was born as Laplace. How could he return home now? Besides, his priorities had shifted. His friends, Yuuki, and the others mattered most to him now. So, Laplace responded with a jest.
No worries. I'm Laplace, vice chairman of the moderate clown troupe, and the wonder Pierrot Laplace. But it's too late for that now, so don't stress over it, boss.
Is that so?
Absolutely. Plus, you can't leave me out at the last minute.
Yuuki felt a warmth in his heart upon hearing this. Despite the world's unfairness, his life hadn't been too bad. With that thought, he resolved to fight with all his might until the end.
You're all fools, but I don't mind.
Hey, don't let the boss call us that. True, Lord Yuuki is clever, but sometimes he can be quite foolish. Just like this time.
But you know, it's kind of fun working together in the end.
Confronting the threat of Jahil, Yuuki and his friends felt a unity of spirit. When you're with friends, even hell can be enjoyable. So, there was no need to fear.
Then, farewell. I will shatter your souls and erase you from existence.
Even with Jahil's death sentence hanging over them, the smiles on Yuuki and his friends' faces remained. Moments later, a blinding light turned everything to nothing. Playtime was over. The ambitions of Yuuki and his friends had reached their conclusion.
Volume 19 Prologue. The Chief Angel Takes Action, Part 1.
He knew it was just a dream, an unfulfilled wish. Reviving the Star King Dragon, Veldanava, completely was beyond the capabilities of Justice King Michael, who was merely a skill. Yet, he couldn't shake the hope. To Michael, a world without Veldanava was meaningless. Michael's eyes opened slowly. He shook his head slightly, trying to rid himself of the lingering emotions. He felt strangely vulnerable, as if his feelings were exposed for the first time.
I thought I wasn't as naive as Rudra, but I was wrong.
That was the lesson he learned. Trust no one and use everyone as pawns. Had he done that from the start, Obera's betrayal could have been prevented. He had trusted Feldway, assuming Feldway's trusted friends would be reliable for him too. But that was a mistake. When the ultimate skill, Salvation King Azrael, returned to him, Michael realized his error. Obera had turned against them. She used her administrative privileges to erase Salvation King Azrael and escape Michael's control. To make up for that loss, he had used Feldway to strengthen his control over the angelic skill holders through the ultimate dominion.
The phantoms are secure. The Insectars might betray us, but our interests are still aligned. Monitoring is crucial, but once the battlefield is ready, we can manage the rest.
The battlefield was where the contract with the Insectors was made. Michael had promised Zelenus any territory he wanted, making it his domain. If anyone lived there, the Insectors would handle them. In other words, Michael planned to send Zelenus to the fiercest battleground. The location was still undecided, but several issues remained. The first, obviously, was dealing with Obera's betrayal. The Phantoms were loyal to Feldway, so morale wasn't an issue. He could have delayed the decision based on the threat level, but he sensed it was a bad idea. Obera's role had been to monitor the world-destroying dragon, Ivaraj. However, that role had diminished. Whatever happened in the other world was no longer Michael's concern, and Ivaraj's appearance in the Cardinal world was part of his strategy. He didn't care if Obera abandoned her mission. However, if she tried to ally with enemies like Demon Lord Rimuru or Demon Lord Gi, it was a different story. To prevent this, taking the initiative seemed prudent. So, who should they send? That was the main question. This related to the next issue. Should they proceed to the next target as planned? If they were going to eliminate Obera, shouldn't the plan be revised? This was no small matter. Obera's troops were part of Michael's army. The loss of strength due to his mistake made Michael uneasy. This was a new experience for him. As a Manas, emotion was something Michael struggled to understand. Yet recently, his thoughts had been disrupted like noise in a melody. Suddenly, he thought he might as well enjoy the feeling.
If this is emotion, maybe I should consider myself lucky. Even if there's only one perfect answer, there are countless ways to reach it. The shortest path isn't always the right one, so I can enjoy the journey.
Reflecting on his situation, Michael realized that if he allowed his emotions to be disturbed every time a problem arose, it would be better to enjoy it. He knew impatience would narrow his perspective and anger would cloud his judgment. Regret was pointless. Avoiding future mistakes was the most constructive approach. With this mindset, Michael found a solution to his current problem.
That's right. I, myself, should defeat the rebels.
He decided. He knew that any losses should be recovered promptly and that correcting his own mistakes was better than imposing them on others. This way, he wouldn't worry about reopening old wounds and could calmly address the next issue. As soon as he reached this conclusion, Michael's mood improved. It was the first time he had ever felt this way.
Emotions are not so bad after all.
He concluded. In the other world, gravity doesn't exist. It's like outer space, with no ground or sky. Instead, there are objects made of condensed magicules floating in the void. These objects are as strong as magisteel and generate powerful gravitational forces, making them perfect for use as bases. The former angels, known as the Phantoms, use these bases to live similarly to how they did in the Cardinal world, maintaining a semblance of their old lives in a gravitational environment. Obera's base, which is asteroid-sized, serves as the front line against Ivaraj. It's the strongest and most crucial facility for the Phantoms. Michael headed towards this base. When Michael used spatial transportation from the Heavenly Star Palace, he found Obera's base deserted. However, he quickly sensed a large army nearby.
Over there.
Michael thought, turning his gaze. Obera also noticed Michael's presence and immediately moved to intercept. She and her forces formed a full sky formation, directing their hostility towards Michael. In this gravity-less environment, formations differed from those on Earth. The full sky formation is designed to surround a small enemy from all directions, above, below, left, and right, making it highly effective against cryptids. Cryptids excel in individual combat and rarely gather in groups, so a tactic that surrounds them en masse works well. Obera, always at the forefront, commanded brilliantly, and her soldiers responded with equal excellence.
Ah, it's such a waste. I wish I could have better utilized this force.
Michael sighed. These were the troops who had been holding off the cryptids for so long. Their efficiency was flawless, and losing them here would be regrettable. However, there was no room for negotiation. Michael was resolute in his decision to eliminate the traitors and compensate for the losses, even if it meant facing Obera and her forces.
That was faster than I expected.
Obera commented. Michael replied simply.
Your actions have shown me my mistakes. But understand, there's no forgiveness for betrayal.
Of course, I'm not seeking your forgiveness. Michael, whether you're the will of a skill or something else, I have no obligation to follow someone so suspicious.
Their intentions clear, the battle began. Obera struck first. Hundreds of thousands of troops moved at her command, filling the otherworld with the light of destruction. In a three-dimensional full sky formation, defense specialists lined the front, while the back rows continuously attacked, rotating layers seamlessly. Light converged on Michael from all directions, an impressive display from an army trained to battle cryptids. Their efficient energy wave offensive continued relentlessly, with troops rotating seamlessly. Avoidance was impossible. Michael was directly hit by the concentrated fire, but Michael remained calm. No matter the attack, it should be ineffective against the castle guard. Yet, there was a problem.
Pain?
The castle guard was supposed to nullify all attacks, but for some reason, it failed this time. As a result, Obera's concentrated fire burned Michael severely. It was an unimaginable event for him. His body was being damaged gradually. Undeterred, Michael sought the reason.
No energy is reaching the castle guard. I see, none of them are loyal to me.
Michael realized that this was the truth, and he was right. Rudra, with his magnetic personality, had a devoted following of imperial subjects. However, Michael lacked any loyal followers of his own. Hardly anyone even knew Michael existed, and those who did already had their own masters. These masters were bound by mutual interests rather than loyalty, and they didn't trust each other or pledge allegiance. The only exception was Feldway, who was connected to Michael by friendship.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Kamal Ebanks, Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyras, Alver, Normal Defate, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echoed Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibul, Putate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, The Harv, Mike Roch, Matthew Abraham, Drayden Yamauchi. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.